changing world where they're getting a much bigger voice.
Show of hands, how many of you would say you feel like you're a strong woman?
Yes, definitely.
All of you. What does being a strong woman mean?
I feel like in today's society, like women themselves are bringing each other up instead of putting each other down.
At Miami-Dade College, 7 18 to 22-year-old women give me insight on their biggest influencers.
So my mom, she's a single parent, so she's always been her. I look up to her. She's done everything. She's gone above and beyond for me.
When you hear the word empowering, what does that mean to you, Lila?
I think to me, you feel like nothing can compromise you or your situation, and you're strong and firm in yourself.
With their parents and adolescent psychologist Jamie Howard watching in the other room, I ask for one word that describes a good woman.
Confident, encouraging, empathy, honest, genuine, and compassion.
I say compassion because I think you need to be aware of other people.
How about you, Gabby? What'd you write?
I wrote confident because kind of the role that women have played in society for a very long time is that we're supposed to be silent and submissive.
A federal study found 1 in 5 undergrad women experience some kind of sexual assault, and more than 90% don't report it. But with the Me Too and Time's Up movements, experts say this generation could change.
But how do you differentiate between some of these cases when you're talking about Harvey Weinstein and then you're talking about somebody who's maybe clumsily saying something or maybe a dating situation?
We have to be wary of having a zero tolerance policy because there are different degrees of sexual harassment, like from rape to like a hand on the shoulder.
Right.
The young women seemed troubled by the recent report involving actor Aziz Ansari, where a woman called him out on social media claiming he was sexually demanding on a date in 2017.
I don't think that that's 100% fair. If she's kind of taking a situation that she also took part in and at that time was like, okay, well, I gave consent for it and it wasn't an issue. Maybe now I don't know.
I don't do
kind of, yeah, like not on social media.
I kind of disagree. I don't think that it should be posted on social media, but there's a responsibility on definitely both sides for communication, and that's where the problem lies.
Then their parents and Dr. Howard join us.
I know she was mature, but I didn't know she was that mature.
As a single mom, I tried really, really hard to make sure she didn't always see me struggle so that her life was a lot easier.
But the world of dating is rarely easy. So Dr. Howard cautions the young women for any bad situation.
What will I do? What will I say? What are the words I can use? And have a specific script in mind. When it comes to more blatant sexual assault, the onus is really on men. That's what we've been talking about.
Is this a new feminist revolution going on right now, or is it too early to say that?
I hope so. Maybe too early to say, but certainly this generation of women is talking about things that previous generations were sort of afraid to talk about. It was taboo, and it's not anymore, and that tends to be the stuff that makes big change.
Impressive gals, and they are definitely talking a lot these days about what is acceptable behavior, what's not acceptable, and in moments of honesty, some even willing to share their own missteps. When talking about the desire to be with men who are respectful and good guys, some of the women confess that they're often attracted to the guys who aren't the bad boy, so to speak, who may not treat them as well, and they admit that as women, George, that they need to sort of own this and sort of feel that they are worthy of somebody who treats them well.
And they seem like they're starting to do that. You saw Dr. Jamie Howard in the piece. He's a clinical psychologist with the Child Mind Institute joining us as well. Let's talk about that right there. How do you get young women to want to build a good, healthy relationship with a man they can trust?
So young women tend to be attracted to men with status, power, sort of athleticism, good looks, and so they put up with mean behavior in order to sort of keep that. But we need to have these young women thinking of themselves as equals. That can reduce mystery and intimidation, and they can be more assertive and communicate directly and be willing to walk away if someone doesn't treat them the way they want to be treated.
And we saw it there. It seems so important for young women to have this conversation with each other about what a healthy relationship is.
Yeah, absolutely. I was really impressed by how these women supported one another. They talked about encouraging one another, and they were very different from one another, yet they were respectful and gave everyone a chance to speak. I was really encouraged by that.
And they had just met, and they're from different backgrounds. Some are single-parent families, some have both parents involved, and maybe some didn't have parents that involved. But the key was that they're finding people who they can speak with and they can talk with about these things.
What about us as parents? You're a little bit ahead of me. I've got daughters who are still in high school and a little bit below that. How do we prepare them for those moments when they're going to be away?
mental rehearsal is one of the most important things. So have a plan in mind. So run through various scenarios, like you're going to be offered alcohol in college. Like, how much do you want to drink? Shots are probably not a good idea. A lot of young women are doing shots these days when they get to college. And the problem is you're impaired and all your good judgment can go out the window. And the other thing is dating. Like, what's safe behavior? How can you be assertive? What words can you specifically use? Like, give them really specific things they can do to keep
And
themselves
start the conversation when?
start it when they're young, and then so you're just continuing to have this conversation as they get older.
And what I liked is that you said to have a plan, to be thinking about what they want to do when they go out. How should I react? Should I go back to this person's apartment or not? Or to think a little bit ahead so that you don't get caught up in a situation and then you can't figure it out.
Great advice. Thank you both. Let's go to Ginger.
All right, George.